Hello students, this is Dr. S.R. Dandavte. I welcome you to the fourth video on interference. In this video, we are going to have expression for diameters of Newton's rings and its applications towards the determination of radius of curvature of plano-convex lens and refractive index of liquid placed between lens and the plate. At the end of the lecture, learners will be able to apply their derived expressions of diameters of Newton's rings for the determination of radius of curvature, that is R, and mu means refractive index of liquid. So let us see how can we obtain expression for diameters of Newton's rings. So as we know that Newton's rings are formed when a plano-convex lens having larger radius of curvature is placed on plain glass plate as shown in this diagram. So let O be the point of contact between lens and the plate. Now if we extend this curvature of lens, it will form a big circle, and somewhere say at this point O dash there will appear its center. Now with reference to that O dash, let R, capital R, be the radius of curvature of plano-convex lens. So O dash O is also equivalent to capital R because this also gives radius. Okay. Now between lens and the plate we have wedge air film. It is further assumed that this distance is xy and it is considered as Rn, and the distance between O dash x will be equal to R minus t. Because this xo is t, see here, this is t, the entire O dash O is equal to R, and hence the remaining distance O dash x is R minus t. So here we have simple geometry. One right angle triangle is created. Now the most important is this Rn. This is radius of Newton's rings which is under consideration. So how it is equivalent to Rn? Do you understand this? See, in previous video we have seen that when this pattern, this lens and the plate is seen through traveling microscope with the help of monochromatic source of light, then at the center we get dark circle and it is followed by alternate bright and dark circular concentric rings. That is called as Newton's rings pattern. So from the center, as we move in outward direction, after that dark center we will have first bright ring, first dark, second bright, second dark, and so on. So this way we may have certain number of dark or bright ring, and with reference to that, if we consider this distance, definitely this distance which is denoted by Rn is radius of that particular Newton's ring. So our interest is to find out this radius so that we can obtain the diameter of that particular ring. Now we can recall expression for wedge film, which is delta is equal to 2 mu t cos R plus alpha plus lambda by 2. Now as we know that in case of Newton's rings, these three conditions are fulfilled. We have normal incidence that makes R is equal to 0. It is air film which makes mu is equal to 1, and as this R, radius of curvature, is large, the film is very thin, and hence the inclination, means this angular inclination, that is wedge angle alpha, is very small. So thus this equation gets modified to delta is equal to twice t plus lambda by 2. Now we can apply simply Pythagoras theorem to the triangle O dash xy. See, this triangle is under consideration. So by that theorem we have O dash y square, this hypotenuse square, is equal to O dash x square plus xy square, and by putting their values we get R square is equal to R minus t square plus Rn square, and when we simplify it we get these steps. See, R square as it is equal to square of this bracket as R square minus twice RT plus t square plus Rn square. Now this R square cancels, and this twice RT is shifted towards LHS, so it becomes twice RT is equal to t square plus Rn square, or if we write this expression for Rn square, it will become twice RT minus t square. However, we have eliminated that t square, because if we compare this R, capital R means this radius of curvature, and that t square, the value of t, larger the value of R, the value of t tends to be smaller, and thus in that equation is not written on this board, but we have the equation between the two is Rn square is equal to twice RT minus t square. So as R is very large in comparison with t, we can neglect t square, and therefore we get Rn square is equal to simply twice RT, or t can be written as Rn square upon twice R. Okay, suppose this is equation 2. Now we have these two equations. Equation 1 gives delta, and in that value of t is given by equation number 2. So let us continue with these two equations. Let us put t in equation 1. We get delta is equal to twice into this value of t plus lambda by 2, which becomes Rn square by R plus lambda by 2. Now using this delta, we can obtain the conditions of either dark or bright rings. So let us start with dark rings. As we know that the value of delta for dark rings is 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, and it is equated with this known value of delta given by equation number 3, and we will simplify this to find out the radius. Okay, so that simplification results into Rn square by R is equal to n lambda, or Rn square is equal to Rn lambda. Now from this radius we can find out diameter. For that purpose, let us assume that dn be the diameter of Newton's dark ring. So we can write dn is equal to twice Rn. Now since we have Rn square, let us square this equation, and we get dn square is equal to 4Rn square, and from equation 4 we have Rn square is equal to Rn lambda, and this way the formula takes the form dn square is equal to 4Rn lambda. So this is desired expression for the square of the diameter of dark rings, Newton's dark rings. Now from this equation we get the conclusion that dn is equal to square root of 4Rn lambda. Now this equation 6 is going to lead one very important conclusion. See, suppose we are performing the experiment with certain given setup. Means we have one plano-convex lens having certain radius of curvature. We have one monochromatic source having certain fixed wavelength. That means in that case this R and lambda will remain constant, and hence if there is any change in diameter, that will be mainly due to change in number n only, and thus we can say that dn is directly proportional to square root of n, or in words we have diameters of Newton's dark rings are directly proportional to square root of natural numbers. Now same process can be applied to bright rings also. For bright rings, we have the path difference equal to n lambda equated with Rn square by R plus lambda by 2. Let us simplify it for Rn square. Equation becomes 2n minus 1 R lambda upon 2. So once again, let us assume that dn is the diameter of nth bright ring. Here you may have some doubt that if dn is taken as diameter of dark ring, how it can be same dn for nth bright? Can we take same notation? So S, same notation can be used for dark as well as bright, because here n is just a number. So we may have first dark, first bright, second dark, second bright, nth dark, nth bright. Yes, it is possible. So notation can be same, no problem. So for nth dark ring, we have dn square is equal to 4Rn square. So by putting the value of Rn square from previous equation, we get 4 times 2n minus 1 R lambda by 2, or it is simply 2R lambda into 2n minus 1. So once again, if we write it for dn, it will become dn is equal to 2R lambda into 2n minus 1. So which conclusion it is going to lead? Similar to previous expression, if you are performing the experiment with constant values of R and lambda, then this dn will change mainly because of this change in this odd number 2n minus 1. So thus we have dn is directly proportional to square root of 2n minus 1, or in words we have the diameters of Newton's bright rings are directly proportional to square root of natural numbers. Alright, now let us turn towards the applications of Newton's rings. The expressions which already are being obtained can be used to determine radius of curvature by knowing lambda, or we can determine lambda by knowing the radius of curvature. So for that purpose, let us assume that dn and dm be the diameters of nth and mth dark rings respectively, so that we can write the expressions 1 and 2 as shown here. Now from this either equation we can determine easily r or lambda, isn't it? But that single equation may lead to some error, because by chance that single measurement of the diameter goes wrong, then our answer will be wrong. So in order to avoid the possibility of error, we can have comparison between the several readings, and that's why these two diameters are considered. Now let us take the difference between them, so that we get dn square minus dm square is equal to 4Rn minus m lambda, and let us rearrange it either for r or for lambda. For example, if we write it for r, then we get dn square minus dm square upon 4 lambda n minus m. So using this equation we can determine radius of curvature by knowing lambda. Experimentally, we should know the values of diameters of nth and mth dark rings. So this is the first application. The second application is to determine refractive index mu of given transparent liquid. So before we start discussing this, the question is, can we perform Newton's rings experiment with the help of certain liquid? Yes, we can. We can keep the plano-convex lens and plain glass plate in the structure like beaker, and we can replace that air film by any experimental liquid which is transparent to light. So experimental liquid can be as simple as water. So water film may be created, and when light passes through water, it will cause some path difference and Newton's rings will be produced. Now, but for this liquid film, we have to consider mu in our expression of path difference. See, in earlier case, the path difference was considered as delta equal to twice t plus lambda by 2 because it was assumed that mu is equal to 1. Now, in the present case, mu is not 1 and hence it is taken here. So, our delta is 2 mu t plus lambda by 2. So, from previous derivation, we have obtained the value of t as rn square by twice r. So let us put this value in equation 1 so that equation of delta becomes mu r square upon capital R plus lambda by 2. Now with the help of this delta, we can obtain the diameter of dark or bright. So once again consider it for dark. The expression becomes delta is equal to this known path difference and this is the desired path difference for destructive 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. So after simplifying that, we get after simplifying this equation, we get Rn square is equal to Rn lambda upon mu, and from that we get the diameter square as 4Rn lambda upon mu. So here you can easily understand, for air film, if mu is equal to 1, then equation becomes dn square is equal to 4Rn lambda, and if it is liquid film, then this mu comes in the denominator. Alright. Now in the similar manner, we can write the formula for dm square also, some mth number dark ring, as 4Rm lambda upon mu. Now listen, using this equation 5 or 6 even, we can determine the refractive index. Simply you rearrange it for mu as dn, this mu is equal to 4Rn lambda upon dn square. Put the values, you will get mu. But once again, it may lead to the wrong answer due to errors. And to avoid that, let us have comparison between this equation number 5 and 6. So we will take it in the form of subtraction, and equation 5 minus 6 gives dn square minus dm square is equal to 4Rn minus m lambda upon mu, or mu becomes like this, given by equation number 8. So using this equation 8, we can easily determine the refractive index of given transparent liquid by knowing these several things. We should know capital R, we should know lambda, we should find out the diameters of nth and mth dark rings. Now it has again one alternative. We can perform the experiment in 2 steps. Suppose for liquid film the experiment is performed and that will give us equation number 8. And if the same experiment is repeated for air film, then what will be the equation? Equation will become 1 is equal to this RHS, means this mu on LHS is replaced by 1, and since this equation 8 is for liquid, we have this difference in liquid film, and now it is thought for air film, hence this mu becomes 1 and this denominator is considered in air film. Okay, and thus by dividing equation 8 by 9, we get the desired formula of mu like this. So what happens? After taking the division, we have 4Rn minus m lambda upon dn square minus dm square in liquid divided by this entire term. So 4Rn minus m lambda is common, it cancels, and this particular difference is double divided, so it gets shifted in numerator and our desired formula becomes mu is equal to dn square minus dm square in air upon dn square minus dm square in liquid film. Okay, using this formula we can determine mu provided this nth and m rings diameters. Now same formula can be thought for single diameter also. What I mean, if we have only n number, single number diameter provided in air film as well as same number in liquid film, then we can assume this formula as mu is equal to dn square in air upon dn square in liquid. So that will also give us the desired expression for refractive index of given transparent liquid. So this was all about the Newton's rings and its applications. In next video, we will discuss some general applications of interference. Thank you.